Well, let's talk about that because
Okay.
I had Milana Vayntrub on, who you co-hosted Let's Talk About Something More Interesting.
Yes.
The web series on YouTube that was very successful, and she talked about it. But how did that come about? What made you want to do that?
She and I had auditioned for. Did she tell you the story? We auditioned for a commercial together.
I believe she did, but I want to hear your story.
It's the same exact story.
Sometimes it's not, and that's what the best part.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's see the inconsistencies. Okay, so
because she was like, Stevie was the worst, and I was like, I will look so good next to her.
Yeah, you're like, that's no problem. I can do that.
I do love hearing when there's inconsistencies, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, and you're like, uh-oh, bad news. Yeah, and you can tell people what they said about them. You're like, she said some pretty horrible things about you.
I would never do that.
Me neither. I'm what you call I don't repeat things people say person, you know?
That's what they call it?
Yeah,
I don't repeat things people say person?
Yeah, of course they call it that. Okay.
So you're at a commercial audition?
Yes. And they paired me with a blonde girl. And I was like, this won't work out well for me. So Milana walked through the door and I paired myself with her, which is not something you can do. That's not a choice. That's not a thing. And she was like, I do improv. And I was like, I do improv. And we immediately had like this nice trust with each other. We went into the audition. We were so like, we danced on each other. Like
what was it
the
for?
commercial Cabela's Dangerous Hunts. So it was like we were playing video games and then we were celebrating, right?
Sure.
And our celebratory dancers were like so ridiculous that we were like embarrassing the director who was in the room. He was like blushing and he was like giving us direction, but we were like took it really far and we just had a lot of fun with it. And we booked the commercial together.
Oh, wow. I don't remember her saying you booked it. That's great.
Yeah. So we booked it together and on set we were talking and we were just like playing these horrible characters. And I said, anyway, let's talk about something more interesting. And she goes, that's the name of our web series.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. And so it was like created on that day.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Had you done anything like that? You mentioned you were doing sketches. Did you do like YouTube sketches before that, or was that sort of your first foray?
I had done stuff that people asked me to. I had like done stuff with like Kyle Dunnigan, who had asked me to like be in his like Comedy Central pilot and things like that were sort of other people's creations. But I had never done anything that I played a part in creating.
Yeah.
Never.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you guys wrote, directed, starred, did pretty much everything, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you guys did the editing on it too. I believe Milana.
Yeah,
said a lot of
Milana did the editing.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay.
I cannot take credit for that. She did all the editing. She was very good at it. But we did improvised all of it. We outlined it. We acted in it. We set it up ourselves. It was a hand done project.
Yeah. This might be a stupid question, but did you expect it to be as successful as it was?
I had no idea. I think Milana had a better idea of the world, the YouTube world. She had friends that were on it. She was friends with Good Neighbor. She had like this sort of in that I did not have.
Right.
And I had no idea what would happen with it. And it was surprising to me when people were like, I love this. And sometimes still surprising to me when people are like, I love that web series. And I was like, oh, thank you. Like, it's maybe it's because you're in it. You know what I mean? Like you can't really see it for what it is.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And you're very, you have your own weird insecurities and your own things. But yeah, it was a huge surprise to me that people were like, yes to this.
Yeah. I told Milana this too, but to me, it was just like a ladies between two ferns. You guys had such a fun sort of awkwardness about it that made it, people like seeing that. I think people like seeing that sort of celebrity or guest out of function or not in their set world where things are normal like that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And self-deprecating or what have you.
Yeah.
So it made it really fun. And to have you two back and forth, I think you guys were a great chemistry or what have you.
Thank you. Yeah, we have a nice chemistry.
That's fantastic. I think making your own content is very important out here.
Yeah.
Did you find that sort of, did that lead to anything for you? Did you what sort of came of that?
It led to a lot of things for me. I mean, we ended up doing like an MTV pilot based on it.
Right.
A lot of people brought me into rooms that I had never been into because of that show.
Like casting directors?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's fantastic.
It gave us a lot. I mean, it gave us a lot of footage that says we are comfortable doing this. We can do this.
Right.
And so auditions, other sketches, other collaborations. I mean, a lot has come from creating our own thing.
Right. And
it's incredible.
That is so great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's inspiring to somebody who like me who started this podcast because I felt like I wasn't doing as much as I could. Mm-hmm. And it was just a way to sort of put content out there and to sort of have something tangible I can point to. Because like I have a lot of improvisers on this and I always feel like you can say you're doing improv every night, but it doesn't seem like agents and managers or people that make decisions are going to your indie improv shows.
No,
on Vermont.
They're not.
Sunset.
They are not going to the complex, and they are not going to the clubhouse.
Right. But something like a web series or a sketches or
it's
a podcast.
Accessible.
Yes, and it's out there and it's tangible and you can point to it.
And you can email it to someone and you can say, hey, I just did this. Here's a link. Like it's, you don't want to make someone have to come to you. Go to them.
Totally.
So it's the same idea. It's like give them the thing, give them the content, and in the role that you want to be in, right? So it's like
built for you.
Yes, something that feels good for you in your own skin, and that's like the one thing that I feel like has become very clear to me in the like past few years of acting. It's like it's so rare to get a role that feels really you,
right?
So make it, create it for yourself, or hope to get cast in it.
Or don't hope. Take it into your own hands
can happen.
and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's inspiring and delightful, and I love it. That's great.